Hello, hello, hello! Welcome, welcome to the stream! I am Leona Theodosia, and today I am playing The Great Ace Attorney. Once again, this is like part... what was it? 37. Like, I need a second. We're kind of in. We're on... let's see. Episode 9 of the whole... there's 10 episodes in total, and we are on the first section of the trial. So yeah, that's where we are. We did a bunch of investigations, so I don't really know how to distinctly go over that. Besides that, well, there's gonna be a lot of spoilers if you're jumping in right here and you actually want to know about Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. But anyway, I would not recommend. But we're getting into it for all the rest of us who are up to speed. Bop. And of course, I'm on the save thing just because I learned my lesson after that one time. And why... hold on. Why is my cord spinning on itself for my headphones? That makes it very annoying. What? Yes, I know I did. It's like, oh my gosh, you unplugged your headphones. I'm like, I know. We're good? Yep, they're working. Alright. Oh. I need little Mies. Little Mies. You gotta get out of the way. Sorry. Sorry, little Mies. Alright. The defendant's antechamber, as we usually are when we begin trials. There's that old familiar feeling again. Crushing pressure of this historic courthouse. Actually, no. It's a little different today. There's an even more menacing tension in the air. It's a Barack Van Zeeks, because he's apparently in there with you. That's who the defendant is. I did say there would be spoilers if you're jumping in right now. That would be a time to jump in, huh? Wouldn't it be? My little nieceys. It's like, what? There'd be so many questions. Oh gosh, that'd be so funny. Somebody was like, I need to play this game. I have been spoiled on one thing, and I have so many questions. Well, that'd be a time. Sometimes spoilers can motivate you playing the game, and you still won't know what the heck is going on. Anyway. There is a menacing tension in the air here today, isn't there? I suppose... yes, I think so. I forgot. It can only be the result of the menacing appearance of the defendant. Don't be rude, Rihanna! Okay. I know Van Zeeks is pretty rude, but like, don't stoop to his level there, sir. A little more courtesy, if you please. Oh my, I do apologize. However, you're certainly not mistaken that this trial is far from ordinary. What do you mean? I'm not privy to the details. However, I understand that no jury has been selected. Oh no! What are they called? Examination. You can't do the little cross-section with the jury. Thingamabob. Examination. Culmination examination? Summation examination. Something like that. I can't remember right now. No. A trial without a jury? Well, that's just like the trial of the professor 10 years ago. A closed court. Oh, hello, Shlomes. Good morning, my dear fellows. Mr. Shlomes. Have you made note of my hair, Mr. Naruhodo? An outright victory for science, you must agree. Oh yeah, it's not blue anymore. Not the time, sir, but I appreciate your attempt at levity. To be perfectly honest, so much happened yesterday that, well, I completely forgot about your little hair problem. Ah! What to one man is a little hair problem, is to another a day of drinking dubious potion after dubious potion. You made them. You have no idea how my stomach ails me this morning. Oh, how my stomach ails me. Wait, like, you're currently not Shlomes? Do you need some Pepto-Bismol? I don't think that's what I don't think it works like that. Do you need stomach medicine? That might make it worse. Oh dear, how awful for you. Oh, she's in tears. I'm afraid you only have yourself to blame, Mr. Shlomes. Good morning to you, Mr. Reaper. I'm delighted to see you looking so full of vim. And are you? It's the London's celebrated great detective. He's as active as ever. I'm pretty sure this man has like ADHD or something. He's got way too much energy. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases. Well, he actually might not. He could be acting. That's not beyond Shlomes. Moving on. I'm like, I can't tell with this man. The Reaper's overbearing presence is far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. Let me actually read that. Oh, you exaggerate, my dear fellow. Compared to my paltry engagements with a few trivial cases, the Reaper's overbearing presence is far greater deterrent to the black roots of crime in our capital. There we go. Just so the lines are together. No response. And whilst I may not agree with your methods, there is at least one point on which I would readily commend you. What an honor. What would that be? Your eye for a good lawyer, sir. I wasn't expecting that, and I've played this game before, and I did not remember that at all. That's funny. Oh. Oops, let me check something. I just realized I didn't put my fan all the way up. Is my setup okay? Oh no, it's okay. It's doing fine. All right, that's okay. It's okay. Mr. Shlomes. After all, behind this lawyer, there's a very great mind. My own. What are you trying to say? I wish only to say that you should be prepared for quite a trial, Mr. Reaper. Are you gonna put on a show? I thought he was gonna say, I only wish to say that you should be prepared for quite the show. Okay, we shall expect the unexpected from Mr. Shlomes during this trial, because the man is up to mischief. And this is the man who's talking about anti-gravity devices. Are you gonna use one? Don't make one. You're gonna do something here, Brain, that's for sure. That's surprise Van Zeeks. Oh, who's talking? Sorry to barge in. Oh, it's Gina, and it's Mikotoba, Susato's dad. Oh, she has an armband. She has an inspector's armband, I think. Nice. Gina! What's that on her arm? It's a mourning band, I suppose. Oh, right, they do that. It's Victorian era. They have mourning bands. They did that for Sherlock Holmes in real life. Victorians, when Sir Arthur Conan Doyle wrote him to die, even though he didn't really die. Spoilers for something that's over 100 years old. People actually dressed up and had like memorials and mourning bands and the whole 9 yards. Like, even a lady beat up Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. I thought that was just an exaggeration. No. We have that account because he wrote it down. A lady smacked him with her purse. I was like, oh. Okay then. Don't mess with the Victorians and their Sherlock Holmes obsession. Oh boy. Yeah, the story's a little wild. I'd look into it if you're interested in some more. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Father, shouldn't you be at the symposium? It's been postponed, so I have some free time. I decided to come along with the police inspector to see our country's up-and-coming student in action. Ryunosuke surprised. I shall be very interested to see the fruits of your studies over the past year. When did I start Chronicles? Because it's like fruits of your labor past year. I'm like, has it been a year? I think it's been like half a year. Yeah, because I think I was playing Octopath over the new year. Oh, it's been some time. It's been some time. Be a bit more time yet. Sorry. I'm apparently a bit sleepy. Well, it's an honor to have you here. Let's hope there are some fruits to see. Gina, do you want to yell at Barack or something? I don't think you want to be here. There's some sneaky suspicion. That pose. I don't think you want to be here. Odo. Oh, yes, Gina. Why do you agree to this, eh? Why'd you take him on? This Reaper bloke. Everyone says it was him. What killed the boss? I'm sorry, Gina. I just don't believe that. Well, if you weren't him... Well, if it weren't him, who was it? Don't know that. Yet. I don't care what... Oh, wait. I don't care who calls him what. The Reaper's just a name. He's just a person at the end of the day. And if it turns out it was him what killed the boss, then God help him. Fiery eyes indeed. Yes, Culprit deserves every ounce of your loathing. Eh? At least, that may be some solace to the deceased. Oh, you... She's crying again. Barack! Oh no. Please, Oda. Get whoever did this for the boss. Oh, Gina. I hate feeling this useless, but there's nothing I can do. You gotta find who done this and make the wretch pay. Oh, did she just leave? The bailiffs did a squat. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court will be in session shortly. Make your way into the courtroom at once, please. Alright then. Here we go. It's time, Mr. Naruhodo. Lord Van Zeeks. Right this way. One who lost his treasured brother to a mass murderer. One who lost his treasured father in a foreign court of law. And one who lost the man who helped her escape destitution. All that misfortune, all that pain, on the course to collide headlong in this trial. It's time to shine a light on all these dark events. Oh, shows he's not looking this way. And whatever truth is revealed, we're going to have to look it straight in the eye. Because of what Mr. Sholmes has been saying. Oh, it's not actually showing the court. Old Bailey courtroom. Hi, Asogi. I feel like I could headbutt him. I feel like I kind of headbutted him. I kind of feel like headbutting him, not gonna lie. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here to conduct the fair and just trial of the defendant, Barack Van Zeeks. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready to begin? The defense is ready, my lord. Prosecution is more than ready. Oh, Kazuma-sama. I've been wishing to see you in court again for so long, it feels. I never pictured it happening like this. Never thought. Be facing you behind the prosecution's bench. The so-called Reaper of the Bailey has been a scourge like no other, undermining Her Majesty's justice system. Today, we must uncover the truth behind this scourge. In other words, this trial is going to be a lot more far-reaching than Inspector Gregson's murder. The truths revealed by these proceedings may have unprecedented repercussions throughout the judiciary. Accordingly, they are to be conducted as a closed trial, with no members of the public present, by Her Majesty's direct orders. How will that work, my lord? The burden of all aberration and education falls on my shoulders. Therefore, as you will see, the juror's bench shall remain vacant today. No members of the public are present. Might I ask who is currently occupying the gallery, my lord? They are members of the judiciary, here to witness proceedings and ensure an equitable trial. Members of the judiciary? Oh my, this is a very unusual trial already. There is, of course, another unprecedented aspect to these proceedings on which I must elaborate. The counsels for the prosecution and defense are both aliens of Great Britain. No comment from Kazuma. Oh wait, nope, he's talking. Never mind, I spoke too soon. I believe it takes an outsider to see the truth sometimes. And as I stand here in this courtroom now, I'm quite certain. This is the reason why I had to come to Britain. Kazuma? Be an idiot, if you ask me. But I'm pretty much looking at this and going, I know more than you. Anyway, moving on. Very well, let us commence proceedings. Prosecutor Asogi, your opening statement, if you please. He's so stiff. Certainly, my lord. The incident took place on 1st November at just after 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm laughing because I'm trying not to. Him opening the scroll like that reminds me all the times he did that in the last trial with Barack Van Zeeks. I was giggling whenever he did that because I knew it was Kazuma and I couldn't stop laughing about it. Oh, jeez. I may play dumb, but still, there are times where I'm like, I just can't. I have to drop the act. Anyway. The location was a building of flats on Fresno Street on the outskirts of the city. The victim's body was discovered there in an old single-room rental property. Yes, Inspector Tobias Gregson, a name known very well indeed to this court. Not least for his miraculous resolution of one of this country's grimmest cases 10 years ago. The Professor case. You know, it's case 15. How sure are you about the time of the incident? Several witnesses on the street outside heard the gunshot, and all have reported the same time. Yes, that's what Gina told us too. There were a number of witnesses. I have here the plan of the room. The victim was found curled up in one corner. It's believed that he was shot from the front at point-blank range and died instantaneously. How has the range been determined? There are scorch marks around the entry wound. Such marks are caused by the gunpowder used to fire the bullet. But powder hot enough to leave scorch marks is only ejected a few inches beyond the end of the barrel. In other words, it only happens when the target is at point-blank range. I see. Yes, thank you for the detailed explanation, Counsel. Autopsy report. We don't have Edgeworth at least to update it. Gotta do the Ace Attorney jokes. The murder weapon was found lying beside the victim. And have you managed to ascertain the owner of this firearm? No, my lord. Not conclusively. Bravo, Kazuma-san. You're not trying to use the gun as evidence when its provenance can't be proven. Furthermore, my lord, as I've explained, the revolver was fired at extremely close range. The bullet passed through the victim and struck the wall behind him. There is a candelabrum mounted on that wall, and the tip of one of the candles in it was found to have been blown off by the projectile. We noticed that too, didn't we? Yes, that's right. Thank you for the thorough report, Consul. The setting of the crime is clear to me. You will submit the plan of the crime scene as evidence, please. As you wish, my lord. Okay, crime scene. Is this Fresno Street room Inspector Gregson's private abode? No, my lord. The room is rented to a Mr. Hugh Boone. Or Boone. It might be Boone. Huge Boone. That actually makes more sense. But there is precious little furniture inside, and it is generally in a poor state of repair. So what on earth was Gregson even doing there? Presumably, he was investigating some case or other. The policeman was informed of the gunshot from the witnesses and rushed to the scene. He found only the deceased inspector and the accused standing alongside holding the revolver. The attending officer arrested the accused on the spot. So, the details of the case are clear. In that case, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. A name, please, counsel. Naturally, the accused himself. Lord Van Zeeks? As a prosecutor, he believes in the oath of office he's taken, and will be compelled to tell the truth. Very well. Let the defendant take the witness stand. Defendant Barack Van Zeeks, and now witness Barack Van Zeeks. What else is gonna happen? So, witness, state your name and occupation for the court. Barack Van Zeeks, Old Bailey prosecutor. I presume, Lord Van Zeeks, that you heard Prosecutor Asogi's opening reprisal. I did. It is alleged that you were found at the scene of the crime, and that you were arrested by the arriving police officer. Can you confirm this? Yes, my lord. And I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some... Then I'm sure the court would like to hear you explain some things away. Namely, why you were there... Namely, why you were there in the room on Fresno Street at the time in question. And what exactly took place? I intend to explain away nothing. We'll simply tell the truth. I must say, Lord Van Zeeks, I never imagined this day would come. Or rather, I didn't want to imagine it would come. But since you became known as the Reaper, a part of me has been dreading it. Oh, no comment from Van Zeeks. The judge would like to have faith in Van Zeeks. Your formal testimony, then, witness. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, it's gonna have a cross and it's gonna have Kazuma. No? Oh, it didn't. The facts of the oh, right. It's after this. I'm done. I was investigating Gregson, and my inquiries had led me to that address. When I first entered the room that day, it was dark inside, and I saw no one. A moment later, I heard the gunshot. I spun around and saw the revolver on the floor. Just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. That testimony was the whole truth. It was. So, you heard a shot being fired in a room with no living occupants. And moments later, a corpse somehow appeared before your eyes. Is that it? You're right. You haven't explained away anything. In fact, that would barely qualify as an excuse. I don't think Nope, he's gonna talk. I thought you were my mute apprentice. But it turns out, you have a way with words, Prosecutor Asogi. It would appear to be a singular tale indeed. Singular isn't the word. It's laughable. What's got into Kazuma? He's not behaving like himself at all. Susato's worried too? Okay, she didn't say anything though. Very well then. Counsel, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, my lord. There we go. Hello, Asogi. Facts about the incident. Nothing jumped out immediately. Okay. Probably should look at the evidence. Okay. The door swings in. Cause yeah. Well, I don't think it has that plant. It's showing that. So you'd have to go around the... If you open the door, you have to go around the door to get to that corner of the room Gregson was found in. Don't know if that would be relevant. Okay, more details on the autopsy report. Autopsy report. Coroner Maria Gore. Victim. Name Tobias Gregson, male. Age 45. Nationality British. Time of death. Oh, time of death is blank. That's going to be important. Cause of death. The victim was shot in the chest at close range from the front, resulting in an instant death. Scorch marks at point of entry. The bullet exited the body from behind. Additional observations. The caliber of the gun used matches that of a standard issue firearms for members of the judiciary. Got a photo. I don't know how relevant that can be. All right, we got the key. This little police figure that has a key that pops out. A fee. Yeah, it was the fee. Can't even see anything. I'm like, they didn't put any detail on that. And then we got the revolver, which is the presumed murder weapon. They haven't said much on it. Besides that, Susato and Ryunosuke don't know about firearms. Yeah, probably best avoid handling it. Yeah, we found yeah, this red hairpiece was found next to Gregson. There's the candelabrum, which... Candles are melted, but this one is not melted, and the top's been blown off, which is very weird. Oh yeah, we found this framed photo, which is of Mrs. Vigil. So don't know why that was there. That's there. Got Mr. Vigil's dismissal notice from his job 10 years ago. Mrs. Vigil did not know he had his job. That wasn't his job anymore. Yeah, we got a letter of introduction, but this side has a it's a steam ticket. Steamboat ticket. Oh yeah, Mr. Vigil. There he is. Given that we have evidence for this, he's probably gonna be important. He's gonna show up somehow. Yeah, the red-haired league. There's a lot going on. We got this red-haired league scam going on. We got Mr. Vigil, who's gone missing. We got a dead inspector, and then we got whatever the heck is Cosmo up to. There's so much going on right now. Okay, I guess I'll just press because I'm not too sure what else to do. It's not like anything stood out abruptly to me or anything, so might as well. You were investigating the inspector. What on earth for? I'm not at liberty to say. Sorry. I'd identified a distinct possibility that Gregson was involved in a case I was investigating. Regrettably, though, he was killed before I could secure the proof I needed. Is the court to understand, then, that on the day in question you followed the victim to the scene? No. I was privy to his movements in advance. How? I stole into his office in the yard and consulted his diary. The address on Fresno Street was noted in the 5 p.m. entry. You illegally entered the man's office. In Japan, that alone would constitute a very serious offense. As it does in Great Britain, I assure you. Is that not the case, Lord Van Zeeks? I was aware of the possible consequences. So, in summary, you're investigating the victim. And yet, you refuse to tell the court why. Nope, so quiet. I didn't realize British prosecutors enjoyed such freedom to choose what to divulge under oath. Why did I ever think I could defend this man? Okay. So when you first entered the room... Had you ever been to the address before? No, never. Only learned of the place as a result of my investigations into Gregson's activities. There was no light inside when I entered, so it was all but impossible to make out anything. But at 5 p.m., the sun would only just have gone down. It would still have been reasonably light outside. The room has a window. It was boarded shut. Very little light found its way into the room from the outside, so it was extremely murky inside. I wouldn't have noticed if the victim was already lying on the floor. There was no artificial light in the room, you say? You're quite sure? I'm quite sure that the part of the room where the body was found was very dark. I have a feeling there was a small oil lamp burning on the desk, though I couldn't say for certain. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. There is, in fact, a small desk with a lamp on it. There's a small desk in the room just here. Yes, I remember. And there was an oil lamp on it, as well as the framed photograph. I entered the room, closed the door behind me, and started towards the desk to investigate. And what did you find? Nothing. I never actually reached the desk. And hear the gunshot. So, who fired the gun? I have no idea. I didn't see anyone else in the room. But you say it was very dark in there. Yes, that's right. All I can tell you is, I didn't sense another's presence. Aha! Then could it be that the gunshot actually originated from somewhere outside the room? No, it's out of the question. Oh. Without doubt, the sound emanated from inside the room. I could smell the gunpowder. Oh, this is going from bad to worse. And you say that's the point at which you noticed the revolver on the floor. Correct. And I foolishly picked it up. It was carelessness on my part. Presumably then, the gunshot you heard came from the firearm that you somewhat hastily took in your hands. In point of fact, my lord, I believe it did not. What? barrel of the revolver I picked up was cold, and there was no smell of spent powder. But then, where on earth is the gun that was fired? Whilst I would like to oblige you with an answer, I'm afraid I can't. I, too, dearly like to know that. Okay.
Hold it!
So people came into the room and then screamed. A man, you say? One of the witnesses, I presume. That's right. One of the street merchants working on Fresno Street. Who are these merchants? A number of them had set up their stalls directly beneath the boarded window of the crime scene. A match seller, a newsmonger, and a peddler. They've all given statements saying they heard the gunshot. And without thought of danger, they ran inside to see what had happened. Yes, Gina told us about that yesterday, didn't she? They burst through the door with some force, it would seem. They did. It almost gave me a heart attack in the process. I would like to see a taken aback Van Zeeks. Actually, we have. He puts up his arms. Wait. Yeah. So he'd just be like, ah. Not very often, though, we don't get to see him do that. We usually see him grab his badge. Which he still has, actually. Ooh, okay. Oh my god. I'm so sleepy. Wake up. But you're supposed to be the Reaper. Because people call him that doesn't mean he's an actual Reaper, Ryunosuke. You know this. First man to come in immediately noticed the revolver in my hand and fled. Policeman patrolling on Fresno Street heard the commotion and was able to arrest the accused shortly after the incident occurred. Anyway, a man's scream drew my attention in that direction. Okay, this is the last. Okay, and then that's when he noticed Gregson. Okay, can you tell us more? What do you mean by that? In what way did the body appear? I honestly can't explain it, but it's the truth. As far as I was concerned, the body hadn't been there until that point. And then suddenly, there it was. Did you perhaps hear the sound of the victim falling to the ground just beforehand? That moment, what I heard was the sound of the door flying open and the scream of the man who came inside first. Nothing more. I see. The man fled. I examined the body. I was stunned to find that it was Gregson. Most curious circumstances indeed. How the inspector was killed, or how his body seemed to appear out of nowhere. I have no idea.
Objection!
Hi, Asogi. Surely the court has heard enough. Oh, so the answer was to just press on all the statements. I kind of figured. My lord, the cross-examination has clearly revealed that the accused, Barak Van Zeeks, is lying on multiple fronts. What? What is that supposed to mean? Good gracious, counsel. The defendant is lying, you say? In his testimony just now, he claims that he failed to notice the victim's body because the room was dark. That's correct. No, that's impossible. That's proven by this candelabrum. How does that prove anything? Wait. Is that a typo? You examine. I think it means if you examine. Yeah. Oh, we found a typo. well, look at that. Okay. If you examine the tip of the long candle, you can see it has been blown off by a powerful impact. Oh, hello! Welcome, Margaret. Also, this is one of Asogi's themes, because this man has 3 themes. I don't remember if this is the one that... I think Samurai on a Mission is the one we heard before. I don't remember what this is called. This one might be just called Prosecutor Asogi or Kazuma. I don't remember which name they used. It might be just Prosecutor Kazuma Asogi. I don't really remember. I mean, I keep forgetting that it's Overture to Pursuit, not Prelude to Pursuit. Overture to Pursuit. I keep misremembering. One would assume that the projectile from the firearm passed through the victim and struck the candle. The problem comes when you consider the other 2 candles, which are clearly of a different length. Yes, I can see that only the candle that appears to have been struck by the bullet is long. We can reasonably expect somebody to have lit all 3 candles together, which begs the question of, why only one candle has ended up longer than the others? That must be because that particular candle was extinguished when the others were still burning. Ah! So the bullet extinguished it, but it was lit. The others were lit at the time. That's the argument. Okay. That's right. When the candle was hit by the bullet, it obviously went out. The other 2 candles would still have been burning, so the fact is... the victim's body would have been illuminated by the light still thrown by the candelabrum. And the accuser's claim that he couldn't see the body clearly contradicts those facts. And now, to the next lie. There's more. You did say multiple lies, Ryunosuke. Please keep up. The accused also claims never to have visited the scene of the crime before. It's the truth. In that almost empty room, the police discovered something very unusual. A board covered from top to bottom in police documents and newspaper cuttings. Yes, that's right. We saw it too. It goes without saying that the contents of the police documents cannot be divulged. However, they included a number of reports from various historical cases, the oldest of which was from 10 years ago. 10 years ago? This is starting to sound familiar. And there's a common thread linking all the documents on that board. Indeed. What is the common thread, Counsel? They all relate to cases prosecuted in court by Barak Van Zeeks. All of them? And furthermore, all those cases are ones in which the defendant was acquitted. Good lord! Interestingly, none of those defendants are alive today, because all of them have been sent to their graves by the Reaper. I see you're happy about this, Grandma Iris. Ah! Oh no. In short, that dingy little room is the Reaper's secret hideout and his base of operations. The Reaper's hideout? And yet the Reaper would claim never to have been to his own secret hideout. No one would believe that. No, the truth is, we've been looking at this backwards. I could say the same to you, Asogi. I won't speak anymore, though. I will sass him a little, however, because this is amusing to me. Backwards? Explain, Counsel. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand. What? Yeah. Speaking of backwards. Barak Van Zeeks isn't the Reaper. Maybe we should think about this backwards, because maybe the Reaper really is involved. I'm dropping hints. Order, order, order! Very well. I hereby state the current opinion of the court. Rock Van Zeeks is an outstanding prosecutor who has rendered great service to his country. However, it is with deep regret that I must concur with the prosecutor Asogi's contention that the defendant's testimony exhibits a number of stark inconsistencies with the known facts. All I have done is state the truth as I know it. Asima's done a brilliant job as ever. He's drawing on his experience as a defense attorney to build his prosecution case, and it's formidable. This is such a different playthrough a second time as I am. This is such a different feeling. I remember being so stressed out at this point. At this point, I'm just kind of giggling. I'm like, wait until we ruin this whole man's career. And it's not gonna be Barack Van Zeeks'. Oh, I'm gonna have a much better time at this than my first playthrough. Okay. Counsel, you will submit the board. You will submit the board that you've just shown the court as evidence. I believe it to be fundamental in establishing the facts surrounding the Reaper's existence. Thank you, my lord. Notice board. We're gonna look at it. And now the prosecution would like to call new witnesses to the stand. Hold that thought, Kazuma. I want to look at this. I need to move. I need to move. I'm gonna be in the way if I don't move. Okay. Oh! I was about to say, I wonder if there's anything in the back of the board, but then I noticed there's a bloody handprint. Before I could get that out. Oh, what's this? Mr. Naruhodo, look. Oh yes, it's a smudge of some kind. In fact, it looks just like a handprint. And the color, that's blood, isn't it? Oh dear, how disturbing. Nope, got updated. Neat. I'm just like, whenever I get given something, like my immediate reaction is to look at the other side. There's little, oh my gosh, there's so many little nose things, and they're all flat, except for the pins. Aren't they? Oh yeah, it's just like a 2D texture. Okay, I don't know why I had to notice that. Okay, let's move on. There are details of a whole raft of cases, dating back years on here, aren't there? This paper from 10 years ago is browning with age. Look. Out of interest, the most recent thing appears to be this newspaper cutting here. Oh, it's the same red-handed league of advertisement that Mr. Shlums had picked out. And do you remember? There was a red hairpiece at the scene too. Was Inspector Gregson an exponent of the red-headed league then? Yeah. Does that cover them all? Let me check. It's like, knowing my luck, there's gonna be like exactly one that doesn't get covered. No, it seems like we're good. I don't think there's anything else of interest. This starts spinning around. Okay, enough of that. Okay, we don't got any more. Alright, I'm gonna shuffle back over. Okay. The witnesses. Calling in witnesses. Witnesses who saw the events unfold on the day in question. They were mentioned in the previous testimony too, if you remember. Yes, the street sellers who heard the gunshot and went running into the room. Very well. Lead the witnesses in. The defendant may step down from the witness stand. Polite bow. Certainly, my lord. Poor Van Zeeks. Oh my gosh. Hi, lady. It's the coachman! First case. No, wait. What's the second? Third case. First case of Britain. So, witnesses. State your names and occupations for the court. Names? We don't use names. Far too fancy for the likes of us. We're just free and easy. Sell what we like, live where we want to live. I give them all a vacant stare as they walk down Fresno and spin a few words into a verse for them. Ah. Would I be right? Would I be right in assuming that all three of you make your living by selling wares on the street? Everyone calls me Gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passerbys, you know. Jaunty little tidbits? Got an absolute smasher for you, sir. Right up your ginnel, it is. 6 pence is the price and not a penny less. That's quite the face. Wait, you're actually trying to sell it to me now? Oh, come on, sir. Don't tell me you're not interested. Try the man. Give him money and see what it is. Pay the man, Judge, no! Pay the man, counsel. Alright, 6 pence it is. You won't regret it, sir. Now, got your listening ears on? Just between us, a young couple on Slight Street have just had twins. It's just quiet. Is that it? No, that's not it. It's gossip, isn't it? It wants to spread. That bit's up to you and your mouth, of course. I got more, you know. Want another juicy one? 6 pence a piece it is, if you're curious. I am curious, yes. What's going on just under that fat bottom lip of yours? Namely, the unusual bruise or whatever it is that's poking out from under your collar. Oh, yeah, he does. Ooh. What happened there? Nothing good, by the look of it. What about the next witness, then? What name do you go by, and what do you sell? Me, I'm Venus. That's what everyone calls me. Funny, isn't it? I sell these lovely little fireworks to all the local school kids. 6 pence a pop. What do you say? You're using up your merchandise. You aren't exaggerating with little. Do they actually sell? Oh yeah, the second years can't get enough of my Venus firecrackers. Especially when I tell them that if they get 100, they could blow up the school. Not the most savory of ideas, young lady. What do you say then, eh? Want to part with 6 pence for a pop? Wait, what? You want me to buy one? Tell you what, I'll let you in on a little secret. If you get 100 of them, you could blow up the whole courtroom. I don't think Ryanosuke wants to do that. Sinking suspicion. Try the woman. Give her the money and see if she's right. Hey, the woman, counsel. Alright, I'll buy one. Lovely stuff. Right then. This is something a bit extra just for you. The Venus Special. Only 600 pence. 600? It's 100 of my regular fireworks. Nothing little about that, is there? Lady, no. And there'd be nothing little about the punishment if I blew up Old Bailey, either. Those have gunpowder in them, don't they? Venus firecrackers. I want to go look at it. Well, let's hold off on that. We might get more stuff. The Latin... And the last witness. What name do you go by and what do you sell? I think of me in all sorts of thoughts. I think, therefore I am. I am, therefore I think. I think. Because I stand there on the street, watching the world go on about me. They call me the Observer. Get out of it, old man. Everyone calls you Sandwich and you know it. Because he's wearing the sandwich board. As in, it's a type of sign thing. He's the sign on the back and front, and there's ropes over your shoulder. I've heard them called sandwich signs. I don't know if that's a common name or not, but that's what I've heard them as. So, you don't... so you don't actually sell anything? A problem shared is a problem halved, as they say. I give advice, I do, and what it means. I don't actually sell anything, no. Come to think of it. Pity. All my purchases today, please. I think Kazuma's picking on Ryunosuke. I think all three of them are picking on Ryunosuke. Well, we have quite a cast here, it seems. They conduct their business on Fresno Street from the morning until night, my lord. And always in the same place, directly adjacent to the crime scene. I see. And thus they heard the gunshot, I suppose. Not only that, but they very bravely ran inside to see what was going on and witnessed the crime. I'll be beggared, I thought. Just between us. Venus de Milo, what am I to do? What a terrible thing I saw. Well, what I think is, if what we see is light and shadow, playing with our eyes, is any of it real? Don't get an existential, man, you're already a video game character. Very well. The court will hear the formal testimony of these three witnesses now. You will describe in detail what you witnessed and heard at the time of the incident. Witness testimony. The witness's account. We saw the whole thing from start to finish, we did. Everything from the moment they went in the building. It was less than a minute after the Reaper had gone inside, and we all heard a big bang. Seems to me that quick to talk is quick to walk. Gossip couldn't wait to go and see what had happened. I ran in the room, and there he was. The Reaper, gun in hand, standing over the dead body. I was scared half to death. Me. So I ran off to find a copper. She's constantly posing. If these witnesses were there the whole day and saw everything, who did they see going inside the building? Only the victim, Inspector Gregson, and the accused, Barack Van Zeeks. I've seen pictures of that Reaper in the paper. I know what he looks like. And just between us, folks love stories like this. I've made myself a tidy sum already. But wait, the room was just one of several flats in the building. Someone from another flat could have done it. All those flats on Fresno Street are unoccupied. Of course they are. They're small, damp, dirty, and expensive to boot. The room in which the inspector was found is the only property in the building that's currently leased. And we know the leaseholder's name, don't we? It's Hugh Boone. Huge Boone. Hugh Boone. The testimony the court has just heard would appear to leave little room for doubt. It's becoming increasingly difficult to see how anyone other than the defendant could have committed the crime. No. Thank you for your candor, my lord. Counsel for the defense, you may proceed to cross-examine the witnesses. Yes, my lord. In a closed court like this, without a jury, the judge is the only person whose opinion matters. They have to break down this testimony, somehow. Indeed. Two friends pitted against each other. I feel like this is an opening for a Soul Calibur match or something. I need a drink, though. Ah. Okay. It should be enough water. Yeah, let's get to cross-examinations. Okay. Should probably start with pressing. There's also multiple people here, so if we press on things, they might have something to add. The ones that we're not, you know, trying to get pressing on, I guess?
When you say they, who do you mean exactly? Inspector Gregson and the defendant, Lord Van Zeeks?
I suppose so. The likes of us don't know the names of the High and Mighty. But I'll tell you one thing. It was old Reaper that went in last, that's for sure and certain.
Just behind Inspector Gregson. Do they arrive at the same time as each other?
No, not at all. The first fella must have gone inside a good 15 minutes before we heard that gunshot.
The victim arrived 15 minutes before? Are you sure about that?
Am I sure? Am I sure? Does it seem likely that I've forgotten the fellow with a bright red hair like that, does it?
Yeah, his hair really were red, weren't it? Redder than my flaming fireworks, even. That fiery red mop still burned on the inside of my eyelids, it is. Wait a minute. You're saying the man was a redhead?
Weren't you listening, chump? Aye, he was a redhead. And he had a big trunk with him as well.
But Inspector Gregson's hair isn't red. Not by any stretch of the imagination. It seems likely that the person you saw wasn't in fact Inspector Gregson at all. It was some other third party.
No, I hate to break it to you. You look like you enjoy to break it to him. The witnesses are correct.
What?
Just have a look at this photograph of the victim taken at the scene. Gossip in the group have unique looks. They do. They are the, I think they're probably the most out there designs of the witnesses that we have.
Yes, that's Inspector Gregson, all right. And a red hairpiece. Ah! Of course! We saw one on the floor when we investigated the scene, didn't we? I still refuse to believe Inspector Gregson wore a hairpiece, though. So then why on earth would he have been wearing something like that?
The color does seem to suit the man, one might say. The photograph will be submitted as evidence, please, counsel. Oh, we got more evidence.
And what became of the trunk that the red-headed victim was supposedly carrying?
I was informed that no trunk was found at the scene.
So it just disappeared.
Color photos are not as true. I'm not entirely sure about that. I mean, colored photos as we see them today, and like even the Polaroids, sure. I get the feeling that there are some photographs from even back in this time that had very light coloring. Also, it may be hand-colored. Which is another thing. They may have hand-colored it. That's why you get a lot of, colored photographs of this time. They're not actually... The photograph itself wasn't in color, but the negatives were colored by hand, so when they made a print of it, it became in color. I know very little about analog photography. Like, there is in fact analog Photoshop. Photoshop is called Photoshop because it was very old. It's not anywhere close to being digital exclusive. I can tell you that. But yes. they probably had, it was probably done afterward or something. Anyway, moving on. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, they didn't find the trunk. Okay, so that's it. What do you expect us to have been watching the building every second, do you?
We definitely saw him in the dock going in, though.
No. Oh, him in the dock. Oh, she's meaning Barack. Okay.
We definitely saw him in the dock going in, though. No question about that.
Are you sure she shouldn't be an actress? Because she poses so much. Okay.
Hold it!
So we heard the bang.
By which, presumably, you mean the gunshot.
I saw these little things, don't I?
how would I know what a gunshot sounds like? But I've always thought it would probably sound a bit like this, doesn't it? And you say you heard the noise almost as soon as you saw the defendant here enter the building. That's right. It was almost straight away. Bang! It went. Just like that. Oh, he's the Reaper, ain't he? It's what the French call a fatale accompli. When the Reaper's around, people are going in the ground. I mean, that's what he does, isn't it? I think we get the message. Reaper couldn't allow the inspector to live after he discovered his secret hideout. There can be no clearer motive for the crime. Yes. It's certainly an eminently credible motive. Great. And at that point, you ran inside, is that correct?
Hold it!
So, Gossip was the first one in. So, when Gossip ran to see what had happened, did you go too? Wait, well, I'm a bit hampered, see? All the signs are that I can't move very well. You were... you were away behind, presumably, with that sandwich board around your neck and that big sign in your hand. I was right. They call them sandwich boards. Because you're sandwiched between. What a great burden you bear. Pardon me for asking, Mr. Sandwich, but is it possible you and I have met before? I'm not anybody, me. The signs are what makes me who I am now. I sign, therefore I am. So, you weren't employed as an omnibus driver just under a year ago, then?
He's shaking even more now. This poor man never has a day of warmth in his life, the poor guy.
I might be mistaken, but I believe his trembling has intensified, Mr. Naruhodo.
I saw that too.
Yes, I agree. He's clearly been through a lot. Turn down King Henry Street in the back. Widow's Arms is just there. Oh dear, you've made him hide behind his sign. Life is full of surprises.
I ran into the room and there... Oh, wait, no. I'll say this. I don't need to read that.
So then, you were the first person to arrive on the scene, is that right?
That I was. Kicked the door open like a professional, I did, and yelled out, "What's going off here?"
Lord Van Zieks claims all he heard was a man's scream, though. And was it dark inside the room?
No, not dark at all. There are candles burning on the wall.
Really?
And there was a fellow collapsed on the floor. Just between us. It was the first thing I noticed when I got inside.
Ah, I see. Even though Lord Van Zieks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall.
Well, it could be it was dark when he arrived in there, but by the time Gossip got in, there was light. I mean, it's candles. I think I mentioned a Rube Goldberg machine at this point. Some point. Do you have any idea how many Rube Goldberg machines there have been invented to light candles? It's not hard. It's like one of the easiest, like... It's like one of the most basic Rube Goldberg machines is get a match to light a candle. And that, like, a little ball to roll into something. If you don't know what I'm talking about, by the way, look up Rube Goldberg machines. Oh, equally produced film and photograph didn't exist until around the 1920s, 30s. Colored photographs before then required multiple film plates and/or had coloring tinting. Yeah, we kind of went over that. I'm like, please enjoy your daily dose of useless information. I'm not sure if that's necessarily useless. That might be interesting to some people. Actually, that's kind of helpful because if you need to date photographs, that's useful. Anyway. There's all sorts of things that get useful for dating. You may not even think of it. Like clothing. You can date things by what clothes people are wearing. I bet a lot of people don't think about that. That's why trends in fashion is kind of... Yeah. You learn about fashion and trends. You can date when a photo was taken. And it's like people do that all the time in recent time, but then they get really shocked when you think about, oh, you could do that even earlier. I'm like, what do you think changed? People are silly. Anyway.
Even though Lord Van Zieks claims not to have seen any such lights on the wall.
The next thing I noticed was somebody standing right beside the body. They accused Barack Van Zieks. That's right! Pale-faced Reaper himself. I was a little shocked, I won't deny it, but I'm no lily-liver coward. I stood my ground and gave the Reaper a cold, hard stare myself. Oh, what do you have to say?
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, Mr. Sandwich?
Are you gonna respond?
There's really nothing to me. Empty in the head I am, just 2 slices with no middle. So I didn't know what you could want with me. I think that maybe you just remembered something. Having heard Mr. Gossip's last testimony, I mean. What I think is, we're all nothings, really. We try to dress ourselves up as something else. But at the end of the day, we're all just street sellers.
That's enough out of you, Sandwich. Keep your trap shut now. Unless you want us to get you in a real sandwich.
When he saw the Reaper, he fell clean over on his backside.
That's it?
Oh, you rotten beggar. I told you to keep that a secret. He screamed, he did. Screamed and scrambled off on all 4s. That's all I wanted to say.
Mr. Gossip, is this true?
The floor was dead slippery, that's why. Landed my hand in a filthy pool of blood, didn't I? Yuck.
What? A pool of blood?
But listen here. Even when I was sprawled on the floor, I still kept giving the Reaper a cold, hard stare, and don't you forget it.
Just go back a little. Did you say you got blood on your hand?
I did, Happens to the best of us at times, does it? So I was scared, so I slipped over. We can keep it just between us, can't we?
No, Mr. Gossip. I'm going to have to ask you to add that information to your former testimony.
Oh, if I must. The witnesses will amend his testimony to include the aforementioned details at once.
Cosmo's not fussed by it. I want to smack Cosma. I don't know why he's not doing anything, but that might be why I want to give him a smack. I'm like, cocky little shite. So I quickly wiped it off on the floor. Is that the blood stain on the back of the board? Hold on, let me save it. I also haven't saved it over an hour. Probably should do that. Just so we don't have to do everything over again. Because that would be nice. I at least certainly don't want to have to go skipping through a bunch of things and whatnot just to get back to this point because something went wrong. I don't know about you. I might have to hold- if that happened, I would have to hold off on my stream until I caught up. That would be so... Hopefully that doesn't happen. Present. It's this button. Let's try this.
Objection!
Oh, the music cut out. I was right.
So you wiped off the blood from your hand on the floor of the room. Are you quite sure about that?
Well, what else do you expect me to have done, eh? Does it really matter?
Objection!
Ooh.
The police.
Why do I never get Cosmo's voice right the first try? Ah!
The police found no such handprint on the floor during their investigations.
What exactly is the defense asserting? Thanks, Ranosuke. I feel like that could be a clip. It's just trying to read it, then just like gets interrupted. It's just, excuse me.
If you listen, you'll find out, Prosecutor Osogi. Certainly, there was no bloody handprint found on the floor. What are you trying to say? There was a handprint and blood left very clearly at the scene. On the back of this notice board. Yes, indeed. Indisputably a handprint in the distinctive color of blood. You're dead right. That's my right hand. I know it anywhere. Gonna see everyone's back. Oh, hi, Asogi. Yeah, you know, now I'm remembering that scared the dickens out of me. Hi, kitty. Where are you? Where? Okay. Wobbly old cat just came running over, and I'm like, don't run that fast. You're gonna fall over. Hence my concern. I'm like, kitty, what are you doing? You're too wobbly to run. Okay. The witnesses very definitely testify that he wiped his hand on the floor. Any handprints on the back of the board are irrelevant.
Objection.
What if the board itself had fallen over onto the floor? In that case, it's quite possible for the witness's handprint to have ended up there. Let's look at the floor plan of the room. The notice board was in the opposite corner of the room to the victim, in an upright position. Even it had somehow been toppled and was lying on the floor at the time, it would have been a considerable distance from the body. I fell over when I came across the body, so I was basically right next to the corpse, on the other side of the room. In other words, the defense assertion is contradictory. Yes, it is.
I wasn't expecting that.
There's a very definite
Yeah, okay, try again.
There's a very definite contradiction here, for which there must be a reason. I take it that you formulated a proper hypothesis, Counsel, regarding this apparent discrepancy between the witness's account and the handprint found at the scene. I have, my lord. The discrepancy between the witness's account and the location of the handprint is explained by the board moving. False test. The board moving, I guess. It has wheels on it, don't it? Let me save it.
I don't remember this part. You know what? It's got wheels, right? No, it don't. Maybe the board moved. Well, that's the only thing I can think. Cosmo is giving me, this is a test of your skill and knowledge vibes for I don't think that's it. Well, actually, it might kind of be with how he's acting. It's a lot. Cosmo's a mess. That's my opinion. It's like, how much of a mess? Yes. Yes. The answer is yes. That's my opinion at the moment. The board moving is the only thing I can think of, but I could be dead wrong, which is why I saved it.
The real contradiction here is the handprint itself, not where it was found. As the court can see, it's upside down. Good gracious, so it is! The witness had put his hand against the board. The fingers should be pointing upwards.
What does that tell us?
It tells us one simple fact. When this handprint was made, the board must have been lying on the floor as I previously suggested. Which means that after the incident, it must have been moved. What?
Objection.
Yeah, this is Overture, I think. Yeah. Sorry, I always have to listen. I'm like, is this Overture or is this the proper pursuit?
You're claiming that somebody moved the notice board after the shooting. Then tell the court who. I don't know that yet, but the point is, when you consider all the testimony we've heard so far, we can now be very clear on one point. And that would be the position of the notice board at the time of the incident, my lord. So, Counsel, I must ask you to clarify your assertion for the court. At the time of the incident, where do you maintain the notice board was situated?
Probably by Gregson, but I don't... Hold on, this might take a few attempts because there's quite a few spots I could poke and I don't know how. I don't remember how set, like, you need a point exactly right here or whatever. But, like, right by Gregson. Oh. Oh, right there. That's not at all where I was pointing, but okay, where does this go?
This is the only possible location. Immediately adjacent to the doorway. The court will think back to the testimony given by the defendant earlier. He said that when he entered the room, it was dark, and he couldn't see the body.
Vayak!
If the notice board had been there, the body would have been completely hidden from view. The light from the candles would have been blocked, making the room appear darker.
Objection!
The accused also claims that the victim's body simply appeared before him. That's true. Or, in his precise words, just as I picked the firearm up to examine it, the door flew open and I heard a man scream. It was only then that the body of Inspector Gregson appeared before me. I don't know about calling it a scream, but he was talking about me and no mistake. Because it was me that kicked the door open.
Oh, he kicked over the sign.
If you look again at the floor plan.
Yeah, the door opens too.
Consider what would happen if the door to the room was thrown open with force. That can't. The door struck the notice board, knocking it over, and making the victim's body visible. Good gracious!
I don't know if it would be there exactly, but okay. It doesn't make much sense to me, but okay.
The client has told nothing but the truth. He has simply described what he saw.
Take that, Astogi.
Order, order! Counsel! How has this not come to light before now? After the incident, somebody must have righted the board and moved it into the position where the police, myself, and my colleague saw it when investigating the room. Witness!
Oh, wait. Oh, wait, no, this is just witness. I thought it was witness. Okay.
Witness! What have you to say for yourself?
What? Me? My lord?
You and your fellows were there at the scene before anybody else. It goes without saying that you must have known something about the position of the notice board. The witnesses in the stand will testify again. You will each explain exactly what you did upon arriving at the scene of the crime. Stop looking over your glasses at me. I get the message.
He's all twisted up. The mystery of the moving board.
I don't know anything about their notice board. I just wiped my hand on it, that's all. Well, don't look at me. I haven't got a clue about it. I was doing business with some second years at the time.
What? How does that work out?
I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. Just a sign at the crossroads of life. It was that Reaper, I bet. He's got a face that screams bored. I can't see how this changes anything anyway. The detective still died when we heard the gunshot.
Yeah,
So none of you can elaborate further. Taken by the crime they witnessed, and with only the light of a few candles and an oil lamp by which to see. You can't expect these witnesses to be able to give a more precise account of what happened. That's right, yeah. I don't pay to expect to. It don't pay to expect too much. It's man's endless quest for knowledge that destroys the world. That's what I think. Do you? Really? In any case, this testimony shows, even if the notice board was moved by somebody following the incident, it makes no difference. When the gunshot rang out, the accused was the only person at the scene. In short, the only person who could possibly have committed this crime is Barack Van Zeeks. None of this wrangling over the board changes that simple fact. Quite so, quite so. Does the defense still wish to cross-examine the witnesses despite the circumstances? Most certainly, my lord. Very well. Then you may proceed, counsel.
Okay, sorry. I'm like spaced out for a second there. Alright, we'll just start pressing on everything and seeing if somebody reacts or if we get a little more, I don't know. I don't know if we get more evidence, but we'll see if somebody else has something to say about what each other was doing.
So, you admit that it was the board you wiped your bloody hand on?
Admit it? What's there to admit? It's there plain as day for all to see. A smashing print of my right hand.
Perhaps you wanted to hide that handprint. So you righted the notice board and pushed it into the corner, did you?
Just now. Grandma Iris, we're trying to defend the man, so I'm celebrating. No, imagine the weight of that great lump. Do I even look like a powerful and well-nurtured man?
Well, did you see anybody else moving the board?
I've got nerves of steel, I can tell you. But even I have my limits. There was a body on the floor in front of me, and the Grim Reaper himself standing over it. And there was precious little light inside either. My bottom lip was all a quiver.
In other words, this witness is unable to give definite...
Okay, try again.
In other words, this witness is unable to give definite testimony on that point.
No! Grandma Iris, no! Yes, so it would seem. Okay. How are you doing business?
When you say you were doing business with them, you mean you were selling them fireworks?
Yeah,
What else? There's the Priory School just round the corner, see? Those cheeky little so-and-sos have got a plan to blow their school to Kingdom Come.
Ah.
So I've been telling on them, letting their teachers know what they're up to. Oh, you have?
Yeah, wouldn't want anyone to get hurt.
So I let the school know the kids are playing with dodgy toys. Then, praise the Lord, the teachers take all the fireworks off them. And then, praise the Lord again, the kids all come back to me and buy more. Everyone's happy, see?
Inosuke needs to let Kizato figure out how Van Zeeks is not guilty too. I think Ryunosuke is more than capable in this situation. But Kizato's undeniably gonna help. They're a team! They're a duo. They figure out things together. It's awesome.
What a racket.
Of course, and sometimes the teachers give me a little bonus to thank me for letting them know. It's a busy old life selling explosives. Venus is a skillful goddess indeed. Well, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing, really. I'm ever so good at it. Okay. What is it? What was his name? Bippo? Bippo is really just like tattling on everybody. What is it, Bippo? I still remember your name.
Something wrong, Mr. Sandwich. If I said what was, could we just leave it at that? Would that be the end of it? No. Did Miss Venus's statement just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Philosophical thoughts. Deep philosophical thoughts. Hmm? Well, let's say there was a great liar. And that great liar said, without batting an eye, telling barefaced lies is kind of my thing. I'm ever so good at it. Would those words of hers be a lie too? Or the truth, in which case, she's not a liar. Oh, it's a hellish paradox, that one. Don't you think? I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. But it seems to me you're suggesting Miss Venus has been lying, are you?
He's staring at her now.
What are you on about, old man? Trying to cause trouble, are you? Keep on like that.
And I'll wrap your whole body in firecrackers and set them off. I'll give you something to tremble about.
You have a startlingly disturbing mind behind that sweet, innocent face, young lady. So, Miss Venus has lied in her testimony. Is that what you're saying, Mr. Sandwich?
He's still staring.
Well, if it means I'll be burning in hellfire for the rest of my days, so be it. Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Can you elaborate, please, sir? Are you?
Old blabbermouth here headed for the room where the gunshot seemed to come from. But there was somebody else who crept up the stairs behind him, too. That's right. That rotten liar over there.
Did she just ee us like Venti from Kitchen Impact? I think we just got ee-heed. These two don't know what to...
Do you mean to say that you did in fact take yourself to the scene of the crime after all?
Are you gonna respond or not?
What did I tell you, eh? I said I was good at telling barefaced lies, didn't I? Yes, you mentioned it. Well, that revelation rocked the whole courtroom, didn't it? Who knew firecrackers packed such a punch? So you did... so you did indeed visit the scene of the crime, did you, young lady? Good grief! Well, now that you come to mention it, I suppose perhaps. I do clearly remember climbing the stairs to the room, yeah? Either you clearly remembered it or you don't. Well, I shall consider a fitting punishment for this perjurious act later. Perjurious? I don't know. For the time being, you will immediately amend your testimony to reflect the truth. Oh yes, my lord, of course. Maybe I did sneak along behind gossip and have a little peek in the room where it all happened.
Okay.
Hold it!
You want to elaborate even more?
You make a habit of lying, do you, Miss Venus? Well, I suppose so. I don't really know, to be fair.
If you want my advice, though, I take everything I say with a big pinch of salt.
Alright. But you did in fact go to the room where the victim was killed on the day in question, didn't you?
Oh, please. As if I would.
I can't think of anything more terrifying.
The truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I mean, a girl my age is curious about stuff, you know? Did you touch anything at the scene? Oh, please, as if I would. I mean, there was a dead body on the floor.
The truth, please.
Well, alright, just a bit then. I had a look to see if there was anything I could sell. So I so I did give the place a once-over, but there was nothing to write home about. Right. No, I hesitate to ask, but you didn't move the notice board by any chance, did you? Oh, please, as if I would touch anything like that. Just a few bits of loose change is all I had.
The truth, please. So he's getting more and more tired of her.
Well, alright then. I thought there might be something worth having underneath it. So I blasted the flippin' thing. Sorry, flip the blasted thing. You're telling us that you did move that board. I think that did slip out, didn't it? What? You daft barn pot? Yeah, that's hard for me to say. I don't believe it. The girl doesn't think. So, did you find anything then? Something that you might have taken, perhaps? To sell? Oh, please. I should be so lucky. The truth, now! I might have found this old pocket watch under the notice board, I suppose. But a bit of junk like this can't be worth but— Somebody's screaming. Oh, it's Gina. So it's you, was it? You're the one who took it. Gina? Young lady! Never mind where you are. That watch. I watched there. That was a present to Inspector Gregson from the yard for a big case he solved 10 years ago. Your professor case, no doubt. Boss used to wind it up every evening without fail, and he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub. I see. Swiped it off him once, and blimey, he was upset. He gave me a right earful. Said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him. That watch did. Possibly not the best thing to go diving for, then. It's not all that, though. I took it to Jabel's that night and asked how much it was worth. The old dealer wouldn't touch it. Wouldn't give me a penny for it. Said it wasn't working. Knocked about and worthless, he called it. Ah, I knew I should have lifted it. Oh my gosh. That watch must be submitted as evidence at once. Oh, please, just as long as you promise to give it back when we're done. Not a chance. I'll swipe it from you if you try to get your grubby mitts on it again. That's enough. And the watch to the bailiff forthwith. Oh no, children. Watch your manners. Good lord. The glass appears to be broken. More than likely. It shattered when the inspector was shot. It doesn't tick anymore either. Which is why Jabel's didn't want it. What a waste, eh? Yes, indeed. It appears to have stopped at the hour of 5. Exactly when the gunshot was heard, then. Which supposes the prosecutor's claim, of course. Wait, which supports the prosecutor's claim, of course. I wanna look at that. Okay. That's nice, Judge. I'm thinking Gregson's pocket watch. Inspector Gregson's pocket watch. The day he wound without fail every single day. He no longer— I think I read that wrong. Inspector Gregson's pocket watch that he wound without fail every single day. It's no longer ticking and the glass cover— oh wait, the glass over the face is cracked. Okay. Let's look at it. Got a little— oh! It's got a little keyhole. Maybe that little soldier dude is connected to this. Okay, let me just poke at it. Time to poke. Glass over the face really is badly cracked. Look. What a shame when the inspector clearly looked after it so carefully. I imagine Mr. Sholmes could repair it, don't you? Yes, I should think so. He's very adept at things like this. A useful man to have around, in fact. But kindly remember that he's a great detective, Mr. Naruhodo. Not an odd-job man. I would hope he would fix Gregson's watch. There's something broken off here? Excuse me. There's a little stub sticking out from the small hole here. Look! I suppose there must have been a little knob or something on that for setting the time. In that case, seeing as we know the inspector took such good care of this watch, it probably broke when the incident occurred, didn't it? Yes, of course! Which could mean that there's a small part of the watch still at the seam, maybe.
Interesting.
Ah, there's a tiny little keyhole here. Can you see? Oh yes, that's probably for the winder used to wind up the mechanism. It looks a little unusual, don't you think? Yes, you'd need just the right key to wind it, I imagine. Why do I feel as though I've seen something? Something a bit like a key that's about the right size to fit in this hole. It would be wonderful if we had the key. Let's check carefully over what we've already found.
Okay, so we'll look at the key again. Where is the key? There it is. I think we have to click the head. Okay. We've already been over this. So let's just go through. Yeah.
Ah, what's that? It appears to be some sort of key. It's tiny though. It couldn't be a key for a door. Not at that size. So what is it for, I wonder?
Remember, this is like as big, the soldier itself is like as big as your finger. Yeah, but look. It's the same.
Mrs. Otto, you think perhaps this key could be the key to Inspector Gregson's watch? Oh, yes, it could be. Let's try it at once. There's not a moment to lose.
Oop. It beats. Oh, there it goes.
I knew it. A perfect fit. And look! The inspector's watch has started going again. Ah, so it has obviously just not been wound up, that's all.
That feels very significant. This guy wound it up.
What is it, Miss Susato? Well, if the watch isn't actually broken after all, I have a feeling it could have profound implications. She's deep in thought now. Perhaps I better start thinking deeply too.
Dr. Gregson's pocket watch that he wound without fail every single day. Having wound it up, it started ticking again. The plot thickens. I did promise that these cases would get more crazy, so obviously it's not as simple as what's going on. It's not even like a locked room murder. Okay. Oh, I need to move then. Make weird sounds while I move. Well, it would appear that the mystery of the movie notice board has been solved at least. And as predicted, it had very little bearing on the case. Ugh. Now then, continue with your cross-examination, please, counsel. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me, just a sign at the crossroads of life. I like how that's the one. I mean, come on! It's like, you need to go find more information. This guy. Nope, there's nothing. What other? Okay, so we just got through Venus's. Yeah, okay. So we really haven't gotten through his. Okay, is there any? Okay, yeah, no, I don't think there's anything. Wait. Okay. It does not let you pull up the court record. Okay, we did get one of these. Venus special fireworks consists of 100 smaller fireworks at 6 pence. What sort of bang could it make? I don't know. I just realized we hadn't looked at these. Can we even look at them? No. It doesn't seem it. But we have noisemakers with gunpowder. Gee, I wonder what that's gonna be used for. I don't remember what I thought when I first got these, but I did read that and go, wait, was it just our dang firecrackers? And then I think I spent a lot of them that remain, like, I kept just waiting to go and just be like, we have firecrackers! It's a firework. Honestly, fireworks are louder than guns. Don't ask me how I know that. Alright, let's keep pressing to see if we get more information from these guys, right? Well, actually, I don't think we'd get anything from talking to Sandwich itself, but maybe we will. I mean, I've been wrong about other things. I'll just continue pressing.
But you did go and see what had happened in the room, didn't you? Fresno Street is my whole world. It's all I know, and I know all of it. I have to make it my business to know if I want to hold my sign up high. So you did go to see what had happened. It's not the destination that's important, it's how you get there, isn't it? Did you notice the notice board in the room? If you think about it, we're both the same species, aren't we? Both different members of the sign family. So if I spotted it, I might have tried to tip it up out of a sense of rivalry, I meant. Someone really needs to tell you that you're Homo sapiens, not Homo sinians. Does that mean that you didn't notice the board? I can only repeat what I said before. I don't know anything about anything. I'm just a bystander, me. Just deciding at the crossroads of life. In which case, just who was responsible for moving the notice board?
We already figured that out. This is about the notice board still, but we already know about that, so I guess this is relevant.
Hold it!
Yes.
It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon that you all heard the loud bang, wasn't it? Maybe the notice board fell over, or maybe it didn't. Maybe I fell over, or maybe I didn't. The Reaper's fate is sealed either way, because of the gunshot we all heard. So if your fate's sealed too. My fate? That's right. The defense is fated to lose, and the prosecution to win.
Says you.
In other words, it all hinges on that single gunshot. So if I could just find some problem with that part of their story, it may be possible to change all our fate. Of course, none of that changes the fact I heard what I heard, does it?
Okay, wrap around dialogue.
Not much to go on. As you pointed out, Mr. Naruhodo, there's no question that the notice board was moved.
So somebody must have done it. Oh, this is also not relevant really much anymore. Okay, I'll just skip through this. Okay, wait, that part might have been.
It seems to have been deliberately positioned so as to hide the body from view. So I feel sure that there's some deeper significance to all of this. Yes, I know what you mean. I've no doubt there are more...
Oh wait, that's Susato. Sorry, I didn't realize she switched.
I've no doubt there are more clues to be uncovered. You're on the right track, I can feel it. So follow your instincts. Alright then.
Well, I think we just present the firecracker on the... this. I'm gonna save it again, because I'm not entirely sure. Well, I'll give it a shot. Haha. Maybe I shouldn't phrase it that way. Maybe I shouldn't phrase it that way. Oh my gosh, we have so many things in our pocket.
Objection!
Oh, nope. Okay, I thought I cut out for a second. No, not that. I don't want to save. I want to load. Huh. We gotta probably present something. Gotta look. Guess the answer is anything where the detective still died when we heard the gunshot. Wait, do I present the watch? Oh, maybe I present the watch because we already had the firecracker. So... But we have the... It's just saying the time of death is different. Because we don't have the time of death on the autopsy report, if you remember. So he could have died at a different time, because that's why I was pointing it out. It's like, that's important. The time of death is going to be really important. Because it's not mentioned. Okay. Let's try the watch then. Because we're not denying there's a gunshot, we're denying that he died then?
Objection!
Oh, it did cut out.
I'm afraid that's not necessarily the case. Oh. At the scene, we found this key to the winder of the inspector's pocket watch.
A key?
And having wound the pocket watch, we discovered that it in fact still works.
Ticky ticky. Ticky ticky.
You see, the watch didn't stop because it was broken at all. And that fact completely undermines one of the most fundamental premises on which this entire case has been built.
What? I think it's still overture. Or maybe... One second. Nope, it's not. That specific part I recognize from Great Pursuit. Overture doesn't have it. So I'm like, nope, I don't hear the right notes. It's still Overture. I thought so. If it was playing Great Pursuit already. Because I'm pretty sure that this case and the next one do play it. But we'll have to see. I'm looking forward to hearing it in game again. Order! Order! The council! The watch will stop at almost exactly 5 o'clock.
Yeah, which is when we heard that gunshot.
It is, exactly the hour.
The time that was showing on the watch tells us nothing other than when it wound down. It's merely a coincidence that it happened to be at 5 o'clock.
Objection!
Ooh. Even if that's true, the 3 witnesses here all heard the gunshot at 5 o'clock. So that's obviously when the crime was committed.
Objection!
No, that doesn't hold. Why not?
Oh, I know how they did it. I just realized.
It's a firecracker. I mean, look at the thing. It's got the fuse. If you taped it to, like, say, a candle and the candle started to burn down, you know, like on this, it'd explode. It was a firecracker. Taped to the candle.
Recall what Inspector Lestrade said only moments ago.
Boss used to wind it up every evening without fail, and when he was waiting for his grub to come at the pub, said he hadn't missed a day in the last 10 years polishing it and winding it. It meant the world to him, that watch did.
The victim was in habit of winding his watch once a day, in the evening. We can reasonably assume, therefore, that he wound the timepiece on the evening before he died as well.
Yes, that would be entirely reasonable.
But if that's the case, you wouldn't expect the watch to have completely wound down by 5 o'clock the following day.
Oh, well, how do you explain it?
In summary, the evening before the day of the incident, when the gunshot rang out in that room, the inspector was already unable to wind his watch.
You can't mean...
What would stop a man winding his watch if he'd... What would stop a man winding his watch if he's been in the habit of winding it every single evening for 10 years? The obvious answer is that he was already dead.
Ooh. Order! Order! Council! That is the most extraordinary claim!
Objection!
extraordinary isn't the word. It's absurd. You claim he was already dead the night before. Do you really think that Scotland Yard's coroner would have overlooked something like that? On that subject, there is something rather surprising. There's actually an omission in the coroner's report. The time of death is not noted. That's right. Wait a minute. You're forgetting that my legs went from under me when I kicked the door in. What do you mean? Like I said, I planted my hand in a dirty, great puddle of blood. Yes. So the victim's blood hadn't dried. It was fresh. Catches on fast, does he? But the blood... But that blood could be explained by any number of ways. It could have been put there afterwards. Some fresh blood could have been poured over the victim's... Does my learned friend think that fresh blood is available on every street corner? Ah! Well, it needn't necessarily have been human blood, of course. Susato's having none of this! We've been told previously that Scotland Yard has no way to identify blood as human. Oh, wait. Yeah. We told previously. Okay. Yeah, I read that right. Van Zix is feeling confident in his choice of defender now. I think he always has. I mean, it shouldn't be too surprising. The frickin' defendant is Van Zix. I don't think if anyone's at this part of the game seriously think that Van Zix murdered anyone, I'm gonna be like slowly turned to them like they're the biggest doofus in the world, because I'm like, really? Really? Are you sure you were playing the same game as me? Because it's immediately obvious this man wouldn't do that despite his appearance. He'd just prosecute them. He clearly... Like, he's had people escape. I mean, like, I don't believe it to be Van Zix. Even when I was first playing this, I'm like, I don't think it's Van Zix. I don't think he's done any of this. I don't think... totally believe that he's not the Reaper. Because he wants to know that too. I mean, come on. Is a mystery game gonna be that straightforward? No. Especially Ace Attorney. It's Phoenix Wright cross-references a parrot in the first actually, was that the first game? Yeah, that was the first game. He cross-references a parrot. You don't think this is gonna get off the walls? Then I'm sorry. I'm like, you are new to the Ace Attorney series, my friend. Let me put you on the straight path. It is not going to be obvious, especially the last few cases. It's going to be some twisty-turny thing that connects some far-flung past event connecting to whatever is going on in the present. It's going to be crazy. That's Ace Attorney. That's like... That's like every single game ever. Again. First game, you cross-reference a parrot in the last trial, and it works. So yeah, off the walls insanity is kind of par for the course for Ace Attorney. The bar was set the first game. I mean, we had spirit mediums the first game even. We don't have that here. The dead literally can talk in this universe. Anyway, rant over. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox now. Just put it over that way. Okay, yeah, they're talking about the blood and how they can't determine if it's human blood or not. The problem is currently being researched. At present, you are correct. It is beyond our abilities. So then, a chicken's blood could have been used, for example. It's certainly a possibility that it wasn't the inspector's blood at all.
Objection.
There he goes. The gunshot was heard at 5 o'clock that afternoon. That's beyond question. It is. Is it though? What? Given that the time of death of the victim had already been called into question, it isn't beyond the realms of impossibility that what these witnesses heard wasn't a gunshot at all. Also, really appreciating Ryunosuke's making this face a bunch. I just want to point that out because look at him. He's having none of this. He is dead serious. We don't get to see a very dead serious Ryunosuke very much. But this man is very serious.
Oh, please, what are you trying to say? Those lot know what we heard. It was a loud bang that came from their room. Now you listen to me. A street seller's ears are his livelihood. I don't doubt your ears, sir. But all of you can state with certainty is that you heard a noise. Eh? Explain yourself then, counsel. A noise that sounds like a gunshot. Could have been made with
the firecrackers. Yeah, I definitely pieced this together pretty much sooner than the testimonies, and I was sitting there chomping at the bit trying to use this. Oh, I remember now, yeah, my first time around I was getting driven nuts, and I remember yelling at Kazuma, calling him an idiot. I'm like, this is a firecracker, you idiot! Okay.
Take that!
Well, the culprit could have used something like this, for example. Oh, really? A demonstration's in order then, I feel. What? Yes, please, show us the— oh, wait, no. We're waiting, counsel.
Okay, that wasn't it. Oh. It's a firecracker. Okay, we might have to update the record. Dang it! I probably got it right, but I need— do we have to look at the candle? Because it didn't let us look at the firecracker. Yeah, it's still not letting us look at the firecracker. No. Okay, let's look at the candle then. Because I think it was the candle then. Yeah, let's still check. Do I show the candle? Okay. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. Do you show— okay, I'm gonna save it. I know I'm on the right track. It's pretty obvious. Okay, why didn't the game let you show the firecracker? I'm so confused. Do you show this? No, that's going through the same ballot. What do you want? Okay, what do you want me to do, game? I know what I want to do. What do you want me to do, game? No. Huh. Huh. Yeah, because it won't let me look at this. It's clearly a firecracker was taped to the— or somehow attached to this, and then they got blown off. I noticed this sounds like a gunshot could have been made with. Do we need the bigger one? Huh. Because it wouldn't be the notice board. Why doesn't it let us look at this? And you won't let it use it. I'm very confused. I'm gonna look it up. I don't want to end it here. Not the gun. We're trying not to say it's a gun, kind of. Let me look it up. Because I'm like, I might be missing where it needs to be updated or something. Wait, do I have to mess with the gun? Don't tell me I have to mess with the gun. They haven't been wanting to touch it. Okay, it does have— it's actually not— wait, no. Is it all along the gun? No, it's probably— let me check. Are you gonna say something different? Okay, we've seen this. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that wasn't helpful. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna look it up. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? I'm pretty sure— I'm like, it's clear that the— you know, I kind of remember this because I was yelling about it. I'm like, I remember the firecracker was involved, but let me look. What do you want me to do, game? How do you want me to explain it? Because clearly I'm not piecing it together. I probably could, but not in a time, and I do need to wrap up the- Ow! I just clacked my teeth together. That was very unpleasant. Okay. Let's see. Twisted. Karma. And his last bout. There we go. Do. Okay. We need to go... Wait, this is the first. This is... Okay, hold on. Yeah, Trial part 1. Okay, there we go. We need to... Let's see. Wait, are we already past this bit too? Yeah, okay. In line, okay, we have the pocket watch. It wasn't actually broken. Oh, wait. Oh, you do have to examine the dang thing. You have to specifically point at the fuse. Why is that so specific? Why do you even need to examine this darn thing? She's been using them the whole court case. Nosuke's quiet. Yeah, to the Googles. It's like, hey, you need to examine the fuse of it. I'm like, I tried to earlier. How did I miss that? Maybe the TV is... Have you an idea, Mr. Naruhodo? You're staring at the end of the string of fireworks. Sorry, it's just that it's the Venus special. I was wondering, what 600 pence worth of fireworks would sound like? I know what a mortar sounds like. It's bleeding loud and I hate it. It hurts my poor ears. Firework days are the worst because around where I live, people love paying for those. Throughout the whole night until people actually go to sleep. You just hear boom, boom, boom. I'm like, ow, my ears. Anyway. Shall we find out? What? But she said it could blow up the courtroom. That was very loud. Alright, that was a fairly sizable bang. My ears are still ringing, Mr. Naruhodo. Were you trying to say BV? His name begins with a B, not a D. It sounds almost exactly like... There, okay, we got that upgraded. That's so annoying. She's been using those the entire courtroom. Why do you have to update? I feel like that one animation of Shlomes. Oh, discount vampire. Oh, okay. Grandpa Iris, we're trying to get this man a not guilty sentence. You're not helping. Oop. Oh, okay. Wait. Are you gonna... Oh, I need a percent. Okay, I can't back out because... I need to see where I am. Okay, here. Now we got our stupid things updated. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do before. Okay, that's really irritating. That's so irritating. Okay, moving on. Just put that aside. I can deal with that later. That frustration can go in a box for now. Something like this. The culprit could have set off one of these to fake a gunshot. Good gracious! The very fireworks that are stole by the witness. Now hold on a minute. Are you saying I did it? My pretty little firecrackers only make a little pop anyway, see? Not 100 of them together. The Venus special that you sell for 600 pennies sounds like this. As the court can now attest, it sounds very much like a gunshot, in fact. You're trying to suggest that somebody set one of those fireworks off at the scene. I'm suggesting that somebody knew the defendant was in the room at 5 that day, and sought to implicate him by creating a sound like a gunshot for these peddlers on Fresno Street to hear.
Objection!
Even the accused himself has testified that he saw no one else in the room at the time. Whether it was a gun or a firecracker, the only person present to cause the bang was Brock Van Zeeks.
One whiff of a match and my firecrackers go pop. See? It's why people like them. I fear for your fingers, young lady.
Objection.
Recently, during my time here in Britain, I've learned of a very useful invention indeed. Something called a time bomb. Good heavens, a bomb! Yes, a device that allows you to blow up whatever you like, whenever you like. Mr. Naruhodo, I worry that your unfortunate phrasing there may lead to yet another international incident. Ah, no, wait, it's the whenever you like part that's important. A time device? Yes, exactly. A time device. Something of that nature could have been planted at the scene. A device that was able to produce the sound of a gunshot long after the culprit had left. Your extravagant claim will have to be substantiated with evidence, counsel.
Are you gonna tell me I have to look at the candelabra again, or can I just present the damn thing? I don't trust you anymore, Gabe. If you're gonna make me look at a firecracker that I've been seeing this lady put off this entire time. I'm like, clearly it's not gonna be a little pop. Why? Okay. Okay, yeah. We're fine. We're fine. We can just present the darn thing.
Take that!
I'm like, I don't trust you, Gabe.
As the court has already discussed, the tip of one of the candles in this candelabrum has been blown off. Indeed, because it was struck by the bullet, which presumably passed through the victim. I don't think that's possible, my lord.
Not possible. Why?
Because of the scorching. There are gunpowder scorch marks clearly visible on the broken candle.
There are? Goodness, yes.
But is it not the case that there was also scorching on the victim around the bullet entry wound? That's right, there was. But as we heard earlier, scorching like that only occurs when the target is very close range, a matter of centimeters from the gun.
Ah!
Which means that the scorching on the candle can possibly be the result of a gunshot.
Suggesting it came from the fireworks.
How can that be, eh? The fact that there's such a visible scorching on the candle suggests that the fireworks must have been right next to it when they exploded. But to put it in another way, the candle and the firecrackers were joined together. The culprit somehow attached the firecrackers at a point partway down the candle. After the killer had left the scene, the candle slowly burnt down along with the other two, until eventually it ignited the fuse of the firecrackers, generating a loud bang. And that is how these three witnesses came to believe they heard a gunshot at 5 o'clock. Well, what a plot! And this implies that the victim could have died earlier than we've been led to believe, the previous day even. Now you just hold your horses! I saw the victim going into the building, remember? I couldn't forget that flame-colored hair, even if I wanted to.
Don't you? Yep, Cosmo has.
The person you saw entering the building wasn't the victim at all. Consider this.
Ah!
Obviously, anybody can wear a wig. So the person that these witnesses saw entering the building 15 minutes before the incident occurred could easily have been someone else entirely, wearing the red hairpiece.
Someone else? Do you mean to say?
It was the same person who contrived the firecracker trick. In other words, Inspector Gregson's killer.
Who's laughing? Oh, is that Cosmo? Oh, hi. Cosmo's laughing.
Oh, very impressive, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kazuma? I'm really quite amazed you've come this far. But after all, wasn't I the one who told you that you had all the makings of a great defense lawyer? I also noted the lack of time of death in this report, a stark omission. But as far as I'm concerned, this whole country's justice system leaves a lot to be desired. Order, order, order! Prosecutor Osogi! What on earth do you mean by that statement? I hear that many of the leading members of Britain's judiciary are present to observe this trial today, so we cannot allow even the slightest doubt to be overlooked. The defense assertion of the time of death based on the victim's stopwatch is just conjecture, but while the possibility exists that my learned friend may be correct, we have a duty to explore it. Well, certainly. Did I read that wrong, though? Well, the possibility exists that my learned friend that we have to do. Okay. Yep, no, I read that right. Well, certainly, I would agree with you. And what immediately comes to mind is, of course, what was Inspector Gregson doing, and where did he go on the day before the incident? Do you know? The inspector always carried out his investigative work alone. His motives were treated as confidential within Scotland Yard. Oh wait, movements. His movements were treated as confidential in Scotland Yard, sorry. Even within the Yard. However, considering the evidence we've been presented with so far, I say it's fairly apparent what case the man was pursuing. What do you, my learned friend? I do have a feeling about what case he might have been investigating. Yes, I agree. Surely. My lord! The defense believes it can... For crying out loud. The defense believes it can explain to the court that the case that was being investigated by Inspector Gregson at the time of his death. Very well, counsel. Present your argument to the court. What evidence is suggestive of the case being investigated by the inspector... Crying out loud, okay, try again. What evidence is suggestive of the case being investigated by the inspector on the day prior to the incident? There we go. This. Clearly, it's the Red-Headed League article. It was on the board and he's wearing the wig. I believe this red hairpiece points to the answer. We might assume it was part of a disguise used to carry out an undercover investigation. Surely not. Such a brightly colored hairpiece would only serve to make the inspector more noticeable. Yes, that's quite true. It would definitely have made him stand out in a crowd. Except, that is, in a crowd of gentlemen from the Red-Headed League. The Red-Headed League? So, you already worked it out. What on earth is all this about? Is there such an extraordinary league of gentlemen? He kinda was, I guess. The Red-Headed League is currently under investigation for a grand deception. A deception of what nature, counsel? They've been targeting red-headed men across all of London and tricking them out of small sums of money. 2 men were arrested for a misdemeanor only yesterday, in fact. My lord, the defense calls for those 2 men to be summoned at once. 2 redheads? Oh dear. Inspector Gregson clearly infiltrated the Red-Headed League using this hairpiece. It was very likely he had direct contact with these criminals. And it's quite possible that such contact led to more serious events. Kazuma's just quiet. I concur. We cannot in good conscience leave this new avenue unexplored. Well done, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, it's another possible line of inquiry, for us at least. The prosecution will make immediate arrangements for the charged men to appear. Bring those 2 red-haired... Bring those two red-headed league conspirators. Wait, is it conscriptor? Conspirators. Conspirators? Okay. Bring those two red-headed league conspirators before me, Prosecutor Osogi. Bow. At once, my lord. Very good. We'll have a 30-minute recess. Court is adjourned.
Alrighty. Yep, there's a to be continued. Okay. That was a lot. Oh, I need a stretch. Yeah. Okay, we got to be continued. Woo! I'm still mad about the firecrackers. Why did you have to examine that? Clearly it's gonna make a loud sound. I don't see the necessity of just... Ah! Okay. That's out of my system, more or less. Oh, jeez. Okay, we will continue along that inquiry, though, next time we play. Which is not going to be this week, because this is also the last stream of the week. But yes, we are picking it up. We're gonna... I didn't expect to actually get through this part so much. We're gonna get into maybe the more interesting stuff, because we're getting to the bits of truth. There is something going on, and we need to reveal it to everybody. It's gonna get intense. I'm excited. Yay. But for now, I just must say that I'm very grateful for everyone coming here that has, whether you're watching live or as the VOD. I'd appreciate any interaction you're willing to give, likes, comments, that sort of thing. Maybe a follow or subscribe, depending on what platform you're on, if you feel up to it. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to. I would like a channel built on people who want to be here. To some extent. I realize it's not going to be every video. But I'm very grateful for any time you're willing to spend on my little videos here. I'm doing my best, hoping to get bigger. It'd be nice. And with that, I must bid you all farewell with fond bye-byes! And I hope to see you in another stream.